Welcome back for part 2 of this 3-part series, Breathwork Reclaimed. And in the first video, we really talked about why breathwork is becoming this place that a lot of people are experiencing a lot of dysregulation, a lot of fragmentation, and a lot of people are actually having these big breathwork experiences and leaving them almost re-traumatized, reliving past experiences that their nervous system wasn't actually ready to revisit and handle and hold. And after these breathwork journeys, having these big spirals down into panic attacks and anxiety and all of these things that start to come out of the body, and they have no idea how to handle it and hold it. And so it really is a big responsibility as breathwork facilitators to understand that there is a process in how we help people rebuild connection to their body and move through a lot of these emotional layers hiding under the surface. I want to share with you, I refuse to accept this as normal or okay. And this is exactly why I built my breathwork company, Catalyst Breathwork, inside of my Embodied Transformation Academy. So over the years, I have worked with hundreds of clients. I've worked with a slew of different type of women, leaders, entrepreneurs, stay-at-home moms, health practitioners, women with chronic illness. Like, I've really worked with a broad range of people. As we were doing this work, I began to notice this pattern. And if you watch the first video, you know I had a similar experience my first time with breathwork. All of these women were coming to me after they've had a breathwork experience. Now, some of my clients, they were brand new to breathwork. They'd never had it. And I'm so glad, because I was able to help them in what I believe is what's best when it comes to breathwork, the transformational breathwork space. But there were all of these women continuing to come to me. And I'll be honest, it literally just happened today. Another woman, a private client of mine, came to me and was like, yeah, I did 4 months of breathwork with this very popular breathwork facilitator, and I quit. I have massive resistance to doing breathwork, and it's scary and it's painful. And I'm like, I am so sorry that you experienced that, because I know what that feels like. And also, I want you to know that there's a different way. And this is what began happening. These women were coming to me after breathwork experiences by very popular breathwork schools, very popular breathwork facilitators, okay? People who are very well trained, but they are coming to me saying, I felt worse. I felt more anxious. I felt disconnected from my body. I felt fragmented. I was watching other people have these big, intense responses, and it scared me. And, there were people huddling in the corner crying, like little kids. And they were like, these were my experiences. They were really, really kind of scary. And I remember, like, man, I am so frustrated that this is the name that breathwork is getting for itself, because what I have experienced and what I know to be true in how I facilitate this work is it is about something completely different. It is not about how big we can make the release. It is not how intense we can create these sensations in our body. It's about how can I restore deep, deep, deep connection back to one of the most innate things of us, one of the most healing parts of our body, our entire being, and that's our breath. When you hear breath as medicine, it really is in so many shapes and forms. And so I really went on this journey to saying, all right, I'm going to be a different breathwork facilitator. I'm going to show people that there is a better way, that there is a different way, that you don't have to go into these experiences and be overwhelmed and be re-traumatized. And while those experiences might be really profound and you might have these big breakthrough moments, is there the proper integration? Is there the proper foundation set in the body? My approach began, how can we do this differently in a way that's actually healing and actually restorative to people, while also still being impactful and powerful? Okay. And I fully believe in what I've done over the years, and the hundreds of people I've worked with, that is 1000% possible. But we have to start understanding the systems at work at play, right? Our nervous system, our emotional realm. So what I want to really share as well is I don't think any breathwork facilitator is a bad person. Most breathwork facilitators are really amazing people. They have the best intentions. They are very heart-led, right? They're genuinely wanting to help people. And yet they're not a lot of times being privy to these darker sides, these uglier sides of what's actually happening. Okay. So I am working currently with a woman who said she did really big, intense breath work as, this thing that was supposed to help her develop as a person. And what actually happened was it brought forward so much intensity and brought some past things up, and she didn't properly know how to feel that and process that and integrate that. And now she's kind of had this snowball effect of panic attacks, of really big anxiety. And she fully believes that it stemmed from those big, intense breathwork sessions that her body was not ready for. But no one told her that that could happen, right? And I don't think a lot of facilitators are realizing that that is most likely what is happening to a lot of their people. So they come, they have these big experiences, they cry, they, think everything is healed, and then they go off, into the sunset. And yet then they don't have these continued relationships and conversations with the people, and are realizing, oh man, I might have opened up a can of worms that that person wasn't quite ready to handle and had the capacity to hold at that time. I'm saying this because most breathwork facilitators have such the right intention, and yet they might not have the right understanding or the right training. And I didn't even have this understanding until I started working with all the people and started having all these people coming to me that I basically had to retrain their nervous system to be able to handle and go through breath work. But once we did that, that's when the depth and the healing and the transformation came from the breathwork space. But we had to really rebuild their system in a different way. And so this is why I created Catalyst Breathwork. So if you come into my Embodied Transformation Academy, you also get trained in breathwork facilitating. I created Catalyst Breathwork with all of my past experience in mind. I created it because this is one of the most powerful self-healing modalities out there. The immense transformation and growth and healing I've had from it and the clients I've had, it has come from the deeper breathwork space. But I knew I needed to teach this in a more responsible way, in a more nervous system safety led way, instead of how much can we release, how much emotional responses can I get from someone. And I started asking, okay, how much safety can their body hold? How much intensity can their body hold? How can we do this where we're working with someone's nervous system instead of forcing them into the healing, instead of forcing them into the big cathartic releases that most breathwork facilitators and trainings are trying to get out of people? Catalyst breathwork is deeply nervous system led. It's deeply about the breather, and it's not about the response that they have in the breathwork space. It's not about let's push harder and let's dig deeper and let's just uproot everything. It really is about how slow do we need to go? What's the pace that this person needs? What's the safety that they've built inside of their system? Do they have any sort of connection with themselves, with their emotions? Okay. And it's really about the integration of each session, of each journey, over just the big intensity, right? The big intense releases that maybe you've seen some people, record and they're posting on social media, right? It's so much more than just this one big release. With Catalyst Breathwork, this is not just like my technique that I'm sharing with you. This is really a standard of how we facilitate the power of our breath, how we facilitate, and as space holders, how we hold the space of breathwork facilitation. Okay. And again, it's something that I hold inside of my academy, because without breath work, I would not be here. Without breath work, I would not be the facilitator that I am, and my clients would not have had the incredible transformations and healing. But I also realized I do not want to be part of that ugly dark side, right? Where I'm actually dysregulating people and retraumatizing people. I need to be part of the side that is standing for a different way of facilitating, a different level of somatic literacy of how we actually understand the process that the body needs to go through. So inside ETA, my certification, I'm really training practitioners and facilitators and coaches in this understanding of what really creates the healing, what really promotes the transformation and the growth in ourselves and our clients, rather than just facilitate this breathwork experience and away you go. If you've seen how powerful breathwork is, or you've maybe even had your own experience and you've been interested in becoming a breathwork facilitator, I want you to know that I really take all of my years, my probably close to 1,000 journeys that I facilitated, and I have created this curriculum based off of people's actual lived experience with this work, and how we as facilitators need to be very responsible in how we're facilitating sessions. So Catalyst Breathwork really is my response to all of the things that I said I do not want to be, that type of facilitator. And this is what I want people who come into this work, who want to be leaders of transformation. This is what I want them to deeply understand and bring to the world, because when it's brought forward in this way, it is so powerful and healing without all of kind of the ugly side effects that a lot of people are experiencing. So in the next video, in the final video of this series of breathwork, we are going to actually experience this. I don't want this to just stay up in the head and be something I'm explaining to you. I actually want to guide you through a short experience so that your body can really feel the difference, that you can actually have this somatic experience that then you can begin creating for your clients as well. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.